Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Harry Muppet. Welcome back to another Starcraft 2 Daily Masters. And my frame rate, even though I'm capturing, is still going really, really high. And I'm playing EVE Online at the moment. So, yeah, that's absolutely insane. It's like 90 frame per second, maximum graphic settings, maximum resolution. I got EVE running in another window and I'm recording. So that is just awesome. But another awesome thing is, of course, our players. We've got MMA up the top left side of the map. He is 25 years old, from South Korea, and he plays for Team Acer. And his opponent is doing some funky proxy stuff over there. It is, of course, going to be CranK. CranK is 24 years old, from South Korea, and plays for Team Axiom. So once again, we are in the Aces Team Story Cup. We're almost out of games for that cup. We've done like 75% of the games actually downloaded, because only the last 6 rounds were actually uploaded a replay, so I didn't get the full tournament, but I got a fair amount of them, so I've almost finished casting all of those. DreamHack, on the other hand, we've cast quite a lot there, but they included all of the round of 32, round of 16 group stages, so we got a billion games in there still waiting to be cast. So yeah, don't worry, this Daily Masters, I mean, I haven't run out of replays yet. I'm a bit disappointed that there aren't any more coming out soon. I guess there hasn't been that many tournaments, and the last upload, 23rd of December, that's too long ago. That's 2 months with no replays being uploaded on my favourite site. Maybe there's some on other sites, I don't know. But anyway, moving on, these are still awesome games. We're still going to be enjoying them. So here we go, Proxy Gateway. MMA going to be moving out with the SCV, misses it completely. Does not scout the gateway, and that is going to be very unfortunate. We do have a Reaper coming out, and Reapers, I'm not sure if they're better than anything else, but it doesn't look like it's going to make a difference. It doesn't look like MMA is going to be facing off against Stalkers. He is going to be facing off, sorry, it doesn't look like he's going to be facing against Zealots. He's going to be facing off against Stalkers, although there is a Zealot coming out there, and the Reaper is going to be able to go nuts here. Oh, sorry, this is just an SCV. I thought the Reaper was already out there, but the Reaper is coming out fairly soon. The little SCV sees a Cybercore, does not see the gateway, and suddenly he's like, uh-oh, bunker time, supply depot time, defense time, get everything down there. So MMA has seen the trap coming on and seen the Zealot, and it's going to keep guiding that around the circle. Let's see if MMA can keep this micro up while still building all that other stuff. It looks like he can. It looks like he is. You saw he deselected it there for like half a second while he was doing something else, and the Zealot managed to get a hit off. So excellent micro, but he's going to have to get out of there and heading for the enemy base to have a crack at some of these probes. Quite an exceptional idea. The Stalker finally coming up, and we do have the bunker up there. No Marines yet. Did not build a Marine. Built everything else, but no Marines. So Marines finally coming out there. The Reaper deciding to come back. I don't know. I would have still sent the Marine out to just kill workers, man, because it's such a good idea. And he can kill workers for like a million years, and that's still definitely something that could happen. The Stalker, is it going to go back and chase the Reaper now? I'm just not sure. Possibly. But, yeah. The Stalker's coming down. I mean, with the bunker with 2 Marines, it's going to be quite hard for anything to get in there anymore. I mean, Stalkers is going to need a concerted effort by Protoss forces to really get in there. And here we go, the Reaper. See, there we go. There's the mothership core for CranK built off that Nexus. So I guess he was relying on that for the base defense. And yes, I can understand him not needing to move back that stuff. He's actually knocked that bunker away. Feels like he doesn't need it anymore. And I guess he's okay at the moment, but 2 Stalkers versus these group of Marines. Even with the Reaper, man, they're looking a little bit slipshod. They're losing a couple of forces here. And the Stalkers, this Stalker is just running for it. It's got no chance. The Reaper is going to catch it quite a bit faster. The Marine's going to be taking this guy out, but it's going to be down to 1 Marine very, very soon. And there we go, some reinforcements coming in. And I think that is going to be it for CranK's early aggression, man. I don't think he can do anything else at this point. He's going to try and send this Stalker over here. He's trying to get this one out. I don't think it's going to happen. There we go, the pylon is just being shredded, and they're not quite going to be able to take that pylon down before the Stalker comes out, but the Stalker is going to have to run for it. And there we go, the pylon is going down. I don't know if he can actually cancel this and get his resources back. Looks like he can, but Here we go, a couple of Stalkers coming in. No way. No way that CranK can make anything happen at any point in the near future with those proxy stuff, man. This is going to go down. And MMA fully in control of his own base once again. Now, CranK is just got to get back into it. He's doing an exceptional job, though. I mean, he's got 34 workers over 27. He's got a Stargate coming out. He's got double Forge. So he's doing some good stuff. Getting that fast Nexus, the fast proxy over here, getting that knocked out has not really knocked him behind. And in terms of forces, though, he's in a little bit of trouble. If MMA decided to move out and start owning him, CranK would be in a little bit of trouble. I don't even know if he has a gateway at the moment. He's building a single gateway, and I really think you'd be building a couple more than that, because a single gateway, man, is very, very risky just to go for a single gateway to try and just make things happen off that, because, I mean, CranK is only too aware of how many Marines MMA probably has right now. And MMA, I don't know how he knew this was coming, but he's moving over there, getting ready for the Oracle, and yeah, he must have scanned. Yeah, he scanned the starport, that was it. So he knew there was something coming. Sending a few more Marines over there, probably to protect this side. Great job there by MMA, keeping all of his bases covered. Got a missile turret over there as well. And he's actually got a missile turret up there already, so good job. The, whatever the hell this is called, the Oracle does get some vision off on a lot of buildings. I'm not sure how long this lasts, but probably lasts for a fair amount of time. And the Oracle is definitely, there we go, in vision. Yes, there we go, 60 seconds. That's not too bad. And yeah, Clear just doing a great job. I don't know if he can get in. I don't know if he saw the missile turret. I'm guessing he did, but it's going to be very dodgy to try and get in there. But we'll see how he does. We'll see how he does. Oracle got 2 workers so far. Is going to be getting out of there, so not really too much. And MMA is moving out across the field to do quite a bit of damage, and we'll see exactly how he does in just a sec, because I got to take a break, so I'll be back. Apologies for that, ladies and gentlemen. Just had somebody shock up at the door, but we are going to keep on, and we are going to be seeing exactly what sort of pressure MMA can put on CranK's base right now. CranK doesn't have a lot. He's built up a bit, but he's only on 1 gateway, I think, at the moment. So no, he's built a couple more, so he's gotten 3 gateways. So he's gotten back up there. However, this is a lot of forces right there, quite a lot of forces. And CranK obviously going for some higher tech. He's going for the Zealot Legs. He's going for the Storm. He does not have either of those options at the moment. So the Nexus Overcharge is going to be keeping MMA back a little bit but with the arrival of 2 medevacs, this may be what MMA is hoping for. He's going to move in. Nice force fields, cutting off the forces all over the place, allowing the Zealots to get in nice and close, and rapidly knocking out the Marine forces right there. So MMA choosing to pick them up and just get them the hell out of there, because yeah, the whole purpose of Triple M forces is you stim and run. You stim and run to keep away from the Zealots, and the force field's very effective in denying MMA that freedom, in making sure that he could not get away from the Zealots, and he so wanted to. So he lost a ton of Marines there, and now his early 3rd base has been discovered by CranK. There is a Zealot going for it. Probably going to end up cancelling that. He's got an attack coming in here, just a group of stuff, putting down a large group here as well. And these guys do have quite a bit of attack in them, but I don't know. I think MMA should be okay here. The Zealots, those speeds for the Zealots just came out, and the Zealots are going to get wiped out, but MMA's forces getting quite heavily hit here, right here. Going for the Stalker, but the Zealots getting in. 2 more Zealots popping up, and MMA has to get out of there. And I assume this little attack over here got knocked back as well. Yeah, these guys, they didn't do a lot, but then again, they didn't really need to do a lot. MMA got another small force, manages to knock that away. There is a pylon here, though, and an Oracle up there. So CranK still got feelers out all over the place. A nice drop here, actually. Trying to do some stuff. Zealots managed to scare it away after a little while. The drop going back down there as well. So let's have a look at the units lost. We do have 4 lost for CranK, 3 lost for MMA. So MMA not able to do a great deal of damage, and he has lost quite a few Marines, though I feel like he's doing okay. I mean, overall, CranK has apparently still lost quite a bit more. I guess the Zealots cost quite a bit more. Well, they cost double the Marines, And when you count all of the cost of the sentries and the stalkers against the Marauder and the Reaper and that Oracle, then yeah, you do start to get up there. But it looks like CranK going for the Archons. Has he got Storm? He does have Storm. So, oh, look at this though. We've completely missed this. MMA just going for a massive, massive drop. And CranK picked an extremely bad time to move out. He's got a punch of the Zealot's head here, as well as a few Storms. So he should be able to do some damage. I don't know how many workers MMA really had up there, but there's going to be a couple of Storms going down on this army if he's not careful. The Zealot's doing a great job of getting right in front of the army, and eventually they have to get away. Don't really kill too many with stuff. Not a lot of workers going down. Probably took out some structures and all that, but that's about it. MMA coming in here. He didn't lose a lot of workers either. I assume he got most of these workers out of the way before the Storms went down from the High Templar. So both players trying to make something happen. Neither player really pulling off the beautiful hit that they wanted to. CranK is going to get a flank over here. CranK is, yeah, alright, we know what we're talking about. And he's doing a pretty good job. The Archon's managed to get in. The Zealot's taking up most of the firepower. And the Archon's getting in there. Archons are getting taken down by Marauder fire, but the Zealots are doing a fantastic job. And once again, MMA managing to get out. Oh, dropping down the Marauders just to snipe a couple of High Templar. Yeah, I'd say that's probably worth it. High Templar got to manage to take them down. And once again, going for this third base, which really has become a major focal point for CranK. Look, he's still dropping off. These guys trying to take out the High Templar. He's doing a pretty good job staying away from the Zealots. Sniping the High Templar. Here he goes. He's probably going to do the same thing again. Yes, there we go. No, they ended up dropping right next to the Zealots. And there's so many Zealots out here for CranK. MMA really having a lot of trouble dealing with the Zealots, but he's doing a bit better now though. He's just got a major amount of forces in here. And Archon coming out, but CranK has pretty much run out of units at this point. And in the end, it just went down. So MMA managed to get the economy going, to the macro going, to produce enough units to make it happen. So in the end, it was just a war of attrition. They were both losing tons of units continuously. Even though CranK had the Storms out, I think the Zealots were doing most of his damage. But in the end, MMA, I think it was mainly because of this early third base. Just getting that early third base out and holding on to it gave him the economic advantage that he wanted. And from then on, boom, he just got a bigger macro, built out more forces. I think he had better upgrades as well. No, CranK actually had 2-2 and MMA only had 1-1. So 2-2 just about on the way. Just started for MMA. So it was not the upgrades, it was just a bit more forces, I guess. And MMA did a exceptional job of sniping the Templars, constantly sniping the Templars, making sure that they never got their full effectiveness. There were definitely some sweet Storms that landed on MMA's forces, but it wasn't a massive amount of Storms all over the place. MMA did snipe quite a few High Templars with the Marauder drops. Just Marauder drops all over the place, just left, right, and center. If you saw a High Templar, boom, just dropped a Marauder. And he had a bit more freedom than otherwise he would, because he was facing basically a mix of Zealots and High Templars. And that means there's no dedicated anti-air. The High Templars can feedback, but it doesn't work all that well. You can see they've feedbacked quite a lot of these guys down to low health, but for the most part, there's no Stalkers, no Sentries, so the Medevacs were relatively unmolested, just flying around the air, and they were free to drop all over the place. And with MMA's micro, it means he could take out a ton of High Templars just by dropping left, right, and center. So really good tactic there, and it worked out because CranK didn't have any dedicated anti-air in his force at that point. He was so caught up in the Zealot play, and the Zealot play was doing such a good job for him that he didn't have the Stalkers, he didn't have the Sentries, and the Medevac play really worked out well for MMA. Anyway, there we go. Thank you very much for watching this Daily Masters. Stay tuned tomorrow. We will be casting another one, and I look forward to seeing you guys then. So, yeah, this has been Hairy Muppet, and I hope you enjoyed this game.